What is the difference between suffragettes and suffragists? If you're curious about the women who fought for the right to vote, you might have come across two terms, suffragists and suffragettes. But what sets these two groups apart? To start, both suffragists and suffragettes were dedicated to securing women's right to vote, but they went about it in very different ways. Let's break it down. Suffragists were the first to take action. They believed in using peaceful, legal methods to persuade politicians and the public. In the UK, the National Union of Women's Suffrage Societies, NUWSS, led by Millicent Fawcett, was a key organization. They organized petitions, public campaigns, and meetings with politicians. They also gave speeches and held fundraisers to support their cause. These women were known for their respectability and responsibility, and they hoped to win the vote by showing that women were capable and deserving of it. On the other hand, suffragettes emerged later in the early 20th century, particularly in the UK. They were led by Emmeline Pankhurst and her daughters, who founded the Women's Social and Political Union, NUL, in 1903. The suffragettes were known for their more radical and militant tactics. They believed in taking direct action, which sometimes included noisy protests, hunger strikes, heckling politicians, blocking roads, and even vandalism like smashing windows and committing arson. The term suffragette was actually coined by a British reporter in 1906 to belittle the women fighting for the vote. However, the women embraced this term and even used it for their own newspaper. In contrast, American women preferred the term suffragist and saw suffragette as offensive. Another interesting difference is in the colors used by these movements. In the UK, the suffragettes used purple for loyalty and dignity, white for purity, and green for hope. In the United States, suffragists used purple for dignity, white for purity, and gold for enlightenment. So, while both groups shared the same goal of achieving women's suffrage, the suffragists took a peaceful and respectful approach, whereas the suffragettes were more militant and willing to use extreme measures to get their message across. This difference in approach reflects the varied strategies and philosophies within the broader women's suffrage movement.